These guys have literally put their passion for fandom, their hobby, and they've decided to create a line of work out of it. To be attacked so callously and so casually by someone that's like an outside source.
Who made YouTube, people? That's it. End of story.
It's like your boss changed the rules out of nowhere. You're doing what you normally do, and some weirdo from outside with some retarded fucking sign and four other fat blue-haired fucking land whales are staging a protest in front of your fucking building, and you're like, well, that was weird. And then all of a sudden you're told, oh, by the way, you're on suspension now.
YouTube has to be there and check whatever the claim is, and then, you know, we can decide and we can present proof, but not to take the video down immediately, end the channel just because somebody said so. So Warhammer YouTube channels deleted, and Shadowy enforcement film targets fan creators. So oh my god, let me read it.
Warhammer YouTube channels deleted as Shadowy enforcement firm targets fan creators from that park place. Several Warhammer YouTube channels have been deleted, with others facing imminent removal after receiving copyright strikes from a third-party organization whose authority to act on behalf of Warhammer 40K IP owner Games Workshop remains unclear. The strikes are not coming directly from Games Workshop, nor from YouTube itself. Instead, they originate from a company calling itself Internet Enforcement MarkScan, also referred to as MarkScan Enforcement, an entity that appears to be selectively targeting Warhammer-related content across multiple independent channels. If the strikes are not reversed in time, some creators could stand to lose their channels entirely. For the channels Automatic Singer and Grimdark Narrator, it's already too late. Their channels were removed this week, a pattern of targeting Warhammer content. What makes the situation particularly alarming is the consistency of the enforcement. The affected creators, the Automatic Singer, the Amber King, and Grimdark Narrator, all produce Warhammer-related material, but in very different formats. Music, lore breakdowns, and narrated fiction are all being hit, but other non-Warhammer videos on the same channels remain untouched. That pattern strongly suggests that this isn't an automated sweep or a broad copyright cleanup. It looks targeted. For the Automatic Singer, the consequences have been especially severe. Despite running a multi-fandom channel, only his Warhammer 40K songs have been struck. In a public community post, he explained that after reviewing the strike notifications more closely, he became unconvinced they originated from Games Workshop at all. Quote, at first glance, it looked like the strikes were coming from Games Workshop. But when I actually looked at the emails, I am not convinced they are from Games Workshop at all. The emails come from a company calling itself Internet Enforcement MarkScan. From what I can find, they are not associated with Games Workshop, and it does not appear that they even have the rights to issue these strikes. He went on to note that he could find no clear evidence linking the company to Games Workshop or granting it the authority to issue strikes. That distinction matters, because under YouTube's copyright system, the assumption of legitimacy carries enormous power. Despite attempts to appeal the removal, the channel appears to have been removed completely from YouTube's platform. How YouTube's system amplifies the damage. Once a strike is issued, YouTube treats the claimant as a legitimate rights holder or authorized agent unless successfully challenged. That means demonetization, upload restrictions, and countdowns towards permanent channel deletion can begin immediately. Creators do have the option to file counter notifications, but the process is slow, opaque, and time-sensitive. Even if a character is ultimately vindicated, the channel could still be deleted before the dispute is resolved. Both the Amber King and Grimdark Narrator report nearly identical experiences. Warhammer-only strikes, minimal explanation, and looming deadlines that threaten years of archived work. This isn't just about lost revenue. For many of these creators, their YouTube channels represent entire communities built around Warhammer lore and storytelling. Communities that could vanish overnight due to an unverified third-party claim. Who is Internet Enforcement MarkScan? That question sits at the heart of the controversy. MarkScan is not a household name in fandom or media enforcement circles, yet it has been able to trigger some of YouTube's most severe penalties with little apparent scrutiny. Online reviews and forum posts paint a troubling picture, with multiple creators across different niches describing vague claims, limited documentation, and poor communication. In several reported cases, creators say MarkScan failed to specify what elements of their videos were allegedly infringing, audio, visuals, or text, simply asserting ownership over the entire work. Whether MarkScan is acting with Games Workshop authorization or not, the lack of transparency has created widespread distrust. Why this matters beyond Warhammer. While the current focus is on Warhammer YouTube channels, the implications are much broader. If third-party enforcement firms can selectively target fan creators without publicly demonstrated authority, and platforms enforce those claims automatically, then any fandom-driven content ecosystem is vulnerable. Fan creativity has long been a cornerstone of Warhammer's popularity, helping sustain interest in the tabletop game, novels, and expanded universe. Watching that ecosystem get kneecapped by opaque enforcement tactics sends a chilling message to creators across all genres. Until YouTube requires verifiable proof of authorization from third-party enforcers, or until Games Workshop publicly clarifies MarkScan's role, Warhammer creators remain exposed to a system that can erase their work first and ask questions later. For now, the clock is ticking for many online creators. End article.
That is horrifying. That's literally a horror show. Worst nightmare scenario possible. So the ball is in YouTube's court. They have to do something about this. They have to change how these systems are, because anybody can do this to a creator, and we have been talking about this for years. This is not the first time that we had something like this happen, and there's still not changes in the rules that are absolutely necessary for something like this to be corrected in the future. And people's livelihoods, their whole life's work actually is absolutely threatened by this. And I know that even if a channel is deleted, it should be able to be restored, because YouTube technically has it in the archives somewhere. But YouTube as a whole has to change, because the creators should be their first priority. Like 90% of the creators are normal, sane people. They just wanna, have a life, and they don't usually cross any of the guidelines on purpose. So things should change, and YouTube has to know that the system can be abused, and this is. I just don't get it. How can this be proven for years and years and years, and still they didn't do anything? If channels that are great and that are making money for them are getting deleted for a piece of shit group that doesn't care, YouTube is losing money.
Absolutely.
They're also losing money. So it's not like they're not losing. No, they're also victims here, and they're losing money. If they lose a big channel that makes thousands of dollars a month, they're losing those thousands of dollars as well for them too, because they're taking quite a bit of a percentage of the earnings, unfortunately for all of us. So yeah.
Not to mention that they can lose in potential people making channels, because they will be afraid, well, if I make that for something that I like or love, like Warhammer or something, maybe they will just take it down. And maybe that will close the door on a great creator right now. Really, and GW cannot do nothing about it. It must be YouTube. Right.
No, GW has nothing to do with this. If they are not hiring these people to do this from their behalf, which actually we don't know, there might be, But if there's no proof, there's no proof. What YouTube should do is to just absolutely stop these people from ever accessing the system somehow, because they don't actually have any content on YouTube that is their own to claim, as far as we understand. I also researched this yesterday, and it seems that they're just a bunch of Indians, probably. That's what people are alluding to, what they found about this company. And for some reason, they want to do this. I don't know what they're gaining from this. It looks like a huge troll, but it's not only a troll, it's actually criminal activity. That's actually against the law. To take somebody's livelihoods, take money from people, from YouTube, whatever, destroy whole community for no reason.
For no reason, indeed, yeah.
No reason at all. So, Chinay, what do you think about this?
This is a very dangerous precedent to be set. Several of these channels that were brought up, I was subscribed to. I really enjoyed their content. It made me more enthusiastic for Games Workshop in general. The 40K world as a whole, but like this is some pretty scary shit. I'm wondering why they're doing it. I'm sure more is going to come out about it, but that doesn't matter. Like I'm like a random dude. This isn't my livelihood on the line. These guys have literally put their passion for fandom, their hobby, and they've decided to create a line of work out of it. To be attacked so callously and so casually by someone that's like an outside source, and you could just go ahead and say shit. This feels a lot like 2020, when you could go ahead and incite some sort of weird woke mob to go ahead and create a pressure against the company to just shoot someone down. YouTube absolutely needs to take this very seriously and be like, yo, like, we need to protect our creators. If they're not infringing, like, totally on these copyright claims. We need to go ahead and let these people continue to be here. They've been here for years. They're like a long-time employee. It feels a lot like AI and a lot of other automated systems are getting involved in this, and people are exploiting that. So more to follow on this one, I guess.
I pray that those people that got hit, those creators, can get their channel back somehow. I really hope that YouTube's gonna step in and we're gonna, monitor the situation, and we're just gonna pray for the best. But everybody that can maybe should write to YouTube on Twitter, to YouTube team, because that's how usually you can reach them, and let them know that this is actually happening.
They've been pretty obstinate about that, though. Even with people complaining, like for instance, the hypnotic thing that came up. Even with people complaining and bringing up legitimate, like, what are you doing right now? It seems that YouTube has changed their stance on things, and it's completely changed the landscape overall, which is it's pretty scary, honestly.
What happened with Hypnotic actually at the end?
To the best of my knowledge, he's still streaming on Rumble. Like literally, he's playing these games in the background. He's stuck on Rumble, which is going to be like a direct hit towards his channel. Everyone likes Rumble, the idea of. No one likes Rumble, the actual product, because Rumble refuses to actually make themselves a better platform. So diehards, like, shout out me, like, I'm still over there, Hypnotic, even though I don't talk. I'm helping him out, but this is just a very dangerous precedent that's going on right now. It seems the past 3 weeks, YouTube has decided to go ahead and take aggressive actions in ways that people that go to work every day don't understand. It's like your boss changed the rules out of nowhere. You're doing what you normally do, and some weirdo from outside with some retarded fucking sign and 4 other fat blue-haired fucking land whales are staging a protest in front of your fucking building, and you're like, well, that was weird. And then all of a sudden you're told, oh, by the way, you're on suspension now. And you're like, okay, why? Get out of here now. We're calling security on you. Like, wait, what? That's a scary environment to be in, where it's I can't even talk to anyone and find out, like, what do I need to do to fix things? So this is bullshit. A lot of people are claiming certain countries of origins doing this, scam countries. And if they're allowed this kind of power into the future, it's going to wreck the fucking platform overall.
I just have no words. Because this is super scary for me.
Absolutely scary, yes. You have to really be careful about everything.
Well, I don't know, how can you be? You just do normal things that they can still find a reason to destroy you,
Yeah.
The comments are very callous too. Even though people are empathetic and they're like, hey, yeah, we understand, like, whatever. But I read a comment earlier that said, I feel bad for you, but like literally you made your entire content and your career based around an IP that you don't own. So that sucks for you. And it's like, this is... YouTube hasn't been around for a year. YouTube's been around for many years. Yeah. People have been getting away with this. Is so stupid.
I mean,
by that logic, then we shouldn't do content about anything, because we do content about things we love and we want to share them with people and be out there. And
we have the right to. It's called transformative content by definition.
Exactly.
And who made YouTube? People. That's it. End of story.
Exactly. Who made you? Yes.
Who made YouTube?
These are the fans. Yeah.
It's all the content creation that created new ways of thinking, even about creating anything. New ways of expressing yourself. All of that matters. It matters for the people. You give real value when you share your thoughts, because there are other people that think like you and they also want to talk about this. You can't always just go on a forum and write about it. Not have forums then. Like, not use anything to talk about anything. That's ridiculous. Yeah. That is like the worst thing. People that usually say that are the same people that don't understand what's like to be a creator and to create anything. Mm-hmm. And they're always like, well, if you don't work in a construction and you're not hitting your head against the wall, then you're not doing anything in your life. Which is so wrong. There's so many levels of work, and this is so tasking on the mind that you have no idea until you actually try to do it. It's actually one of the hardest jobs in the whole world to be a creator, because only 6% actually make enough money to live. Only 6%. Everything else doesn't make any money. I mean, any money enough. Only the biggest creators that we know are that they're 3%.
They're 3%.
They're
I was
3%.
explaining that to my students the other day, and they were looking like that because they thought, oh, the moment you start streaming a game, the money flows. And they say, no, guys.
No, there's nothing is
sorry,
flowing.
nothing.
You
is.
can
I
make
really
money for
get
10
this
years.
comment. This comment makes sense too. And from a legal perspective, I guess they're correct. I'm not disagreeing with it, and I have no ill will towards this person making the comment. What I am getting at is, couldn't YouTube, number one, create a grandfather clause? Anything that's been on the platform, just let it sit. If there's a new law or something that's going on out there, fine, leave it alone. If you have a new claim in the future, after YouTube very clearly lays out, like, these are our new rules, this is what we're going after, especially with things like AI, I could see that. That's not what was going on. The Amber King, for instance, like the easiest one for me to bring up, I was listening to well-acted stories. It's very much like the Valkyrie Down project. Well-acted stories that are going on. There's mood lighting, or I'm sorry, mood sounds and things like that. It's an amazing work. Literally, if you don't know anything about fucking Warhammer, and you just want to like jump into a pretty cool story, this is your chance to. For them to attack things like that, this is removing hype for Games Workshop.
Yeah.
If I was Games Workshop, I'd be like, who the hell's doing this? But then again, that's an old story too, because Games Workshop has a terrible history of attacking things like Astartes project. You know, like they've gone back and they've attacked things that are fan made, and it's like, what are you doing? This is free advertisement for you. But
No, they did hire the guy to work for them, so there's that.
Which is exactly what they should be doing. Like, why are you attacking these people? These people love your property. Bring them in. Make them technical consultants. Do anything you want to, like, to involve these people. And then if you like their idea, give them credit for it if you don't like their production value. Make your own production off of it, because they had fans who came out of the woodwork to fucking find them, which means these are people that actively sought out your property. Use these people for what they're good for, and like the whole world would expand from that. But for whatever reason, it's fuck you, we hate you, the fan. We're gonna do our own thing no matter what. Female custodies, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, absolutely. I really have no words. But from one side, people, like regular people, need to respect more what YouTube is and who made it, and respect content creation, because that is like 90% of all entertainment. It's mostly that, like, people watch more YouTube than they do Netflix.
Yes.
So that has to tell you something. And the other thing is that they have to make better systems that really define fair use a lot better, because I guess it's not well defined enough. And again, not allowing anybody to just take a video down. YouTube has to be there and check whatever the claim is, and then, you know, we can decide and we can present proof, but not to take the video down immediately, end the channel just because somebody said so.
Yeah.
That's for sure is wrong. There's no way around
Terrifying. Well, one of the things I saw, which makes perfect sense, is if you're going to make a claim against someone, you need to have actual verifiable, like, credentials to say, hey, I'm part of this property. This is why I'm making this complaint. If not, it's going to be the Wild West out there. Number one.
Exactly.
Number two, Google's a humongous. YouTube, just hire some more people, actual real people, to handle these complaints and start cutting down on this BS. If you're using like automated tools, I can understand it. Have a real person there on the other side that may or may not be from India and actually deal with this shit. There's plenty of low-skilled people that would love to have a job like this where they just hear a complaint, look at it, be like, okay, this is total bullshit. The end, you're good to go. And let it go. The strike system and everything else, this is a really terrifying thing for content creators. And the fact that it's going after 40K, specifically with the female custodies thing just coming out, smells a little more fishy than I thought at first.
Yeah, although I don't know if those people have actually a content about that. Haven't checked, so I won't speculate if I haven't checked.
For the imperium must not fail. Imperium we prevail. their purpose burning crystal bright, to lift the throne world from its plight and guard humanity's light.